Okay guys, hello, welcome back to my channel. How are we doing? We're in my office today. I really want to redo this whole background because I want to start using this more for videos than like my bedroom. So I want to redo this background, I think maybe in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for a video on that. I'm going to redecorate, especially the shelves and stuff. So that is my goal. But how are we doing? Yeah, it's Sunday. I forgot that I had a video. Like I didn't have a video prepared, so here we are yet again. I have an exam on Tuesday, so that's like been my main focus, and I forgot about YouTube. But we're here. I'm going to be doing a June and July reading recap, so let's get into it. I read 6 books in the months of June and July, so not bad. I started a seventh, but I haven't finished it yet, so I'm not going to talk about that one. At the moment, which is the one that I'm reading, it is. What am I reading? I'm reading Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey. I hope that's how I pronounce the name. It's for a book club that I'm part of, and I'm already 2% in, and I don't like the writing. Like, it's just not for me. So, I don't know. I just can't DNF a book. I really cannot DNF a book. So, even if it kills me, I will finish it. But we're going to talk about the books that I read in June and July, and we're starting off on a really strong foot. I read the first book of A Court in Thorns and Roses. Now, I did a reading vlog on it, so please go and watch that if you haven't already. I did a full reading vlog. There are spoilers in it, so if you are like me and haven't read it until now, maybe go back to it once you have read it. But I finally read the first book, and yeah, I have a lot of thoughts. I honestly was struggling hardcore with this book. Now, hear me out, okay? I'm not a fantasy romantasy girly at all. It's kind of my first foray into romantasy. Actually, I've read We Who Will Die by Stacia Sluck. I didn't like that book. Um, but obviously ACOTAR is like so highly rated. So I was like, you know what? I'm finally gonna read it. So I read the first book. I managed to make my the entire way through it. Yeah, it gets better at about 80%, which was very annoying and disappointing, but it did get good at the end. My sister's not on social media, or like one of them. But she literally reactivated Instagram so she could send me memes from the first book when I was finished it. Oh my god. Tamlin has the personality of a soggy tissue, and I just why? Why are we here? But yeah, not bad. I think I gave it like 2 stars, genuinely, just because it was so slow. There was so much world building. I know that the next books do get better. So I am very excited for, I think it's A Court of Mist and Fury next. I'm going to start reading that once my exams are over. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I gave A Court of Thorns and Roses 2 stars. Okay, next is The Correspondent by Virginia Evans. If you see me looking there, it's because I'm looking at the monitor, which is behind you guys, because I have my Goodreads up there. Um, I read, yeah, The Correspondent by Virginia Evans. I gave this 5 stars. I listened to this on Audible. I think it was Audible. Yeah, I listened to it as an audiobook, is what I'm trying to say, and I cried so fucking hard at the end. Genuinely, this was such a sweet story. It was for a book club that I'm part of, so I wasn't really expecting a whole lot. Um, but I loved this book so much. It was so beautifully written. If you don't know anything about The Correspondent, it follows the life of an old lady named Sybil, and she loves to write letters. So you see her life kind of play out through letters, and then it progresses to emails, which is really funny. But a lot of like you find out a lot of things through the letters she writes and the letters she receives and the people that she talks to, and you find out, you know, the ins and outs of her life and her relationships, you know, her divorce, her children, everything like that. It's honestly so well written. I love it so much. I sobbed like an absolute baby in the last couple of chapters just at how beautiful it was. Theodore Lubeck has my entire heart and soul, and I will die for that man. Okay? This is honestly such an incredible book. Like, I loved it so much. Okay, next, I read Lights Out by Nevessa Allen, which is my first kind of dark romance book, which I think everyone says is a good first book to start as a, like, for dark romance. So, yeah, look, I heheed, I ha-had. It was funny. Like, he was talking to the cat, and I was like, what the hell is going on? Kind of freaked me out that the FMC's name was also Alyssa, spelled the exact same way, and she's a nurse, and I'm studying to be a nurse, so I was a bit like, what, what the hell? But, yeah, it wasn't bad. I'm gonna read the next two in the series, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm a dark romance girl, you guys. I really don't know if I'm a dark romance girl. It kind of, I really truly don't know. I don't know how to feel about it, but it's there, you know. I think I gave it 3 stars. It was okay. Like I laughed. I read it pretty quickly actually. But I wouldn't like go out of my way to be like, oh my god, you have to read this book. But maybe that's just maybe I'm just not a dark romance girl. Maybe I'm not the target audience, and that's okay. But I will read the next two. They are on Kindle Unlimited, so I already have them loaded onto my Kindle. So very excited for holidays. If you don't know, I'm on uni break starting in like 2 days after I finish my exam. And I want to read 10 books in my month-long break, especially in August. I want to read 10 books. I have my 10 books picked out, but I'm going to try and read more on top of that if I can. Honestly, like what better time than uni break, you know, to be able to read? So I do have a couple of books loaded onto my Kindle. Also, how cute is the back of my Kindle? I'm so obsessed. Also, Heated Rivalry season 2 has started filming, and I'm very excited. Yeah, I do have quite a few books loaded onto here, like from Kindle Unlimited. I have obviously the next books in the Lights Out series. I have a couple of books that I have like the firsts of that I've then loaded the rest of the series onto my Kindle if they're on Unlimited. I also have Crown Me Dead and Crown Me Yours by Liv Zander. It's a duology that I've heard really good things about. Butcher and Blackbird, that trilogy. I started reading Butcher and Blackbird and then just ended up reading other things. So I do want to go back to read that because it was one of the earlier books for one of my book clubs. So I have a lot of reading to do, but I am loving my Kindle. Yeah, but I have the next two books. I have Caught Up and what's the other one? Caught Up and what's the last one? What the heck? Game On. That's what it's called. Yeah, I have Caught Up and Game On. So I will read those eventually. But yeah, I'm not like, oh my god, I need to read dark romance or like I'm only a dark romance girly. It's definitely not my preferred genre. That's okay. Okay, next I read Strangers, A Memoir of Marriage by Belle Burden, and I gave this 1 star. I listened to this on audiobook genuinely because I don't think I could have brought myself to read this book. I absolutely despised every second of this book. Now, Belle Burden wrote, it's a memoir, and she wrote about her divorce and the struggles that she went through. And obviously, divorce is hard, and I'm not downplaying the fact that she obviously went through a lot. But I just kept wanting to butt my head at the audacity of her ex-husband and then the audacity of her. Like, I genuinely, truly wanted to jump through the book and shake her shoulders and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Genuinely, what the hell are you doing? Because this book was just absolutely ridiculous. So ridiculous. Yeah, everyone in, or my mum and my sister that are in the book club with me, because it's my mum's like friends book club, um, we all really disliked it. I genuinely couldn't tolerate it. I finished it, and I'm glad that I did it as an audiobook, because I think if I actually read it like as a book or on my Kindle, I would have DNF'd it. So I'm really glad that I did it as an audiobook, but it was so just, it felt very out of touch as well because she was wealthy. Like, I like, and they were talking about the prenup and this and that, whatever, and I was like, please, please. So 1 star. I didn't like it. Wouldn't recommend. I got so frustrated. I just, like, she finally kind of realizes that things aren't gonna work out. Like, she's trying to force herself to still be in his life and like for her kids to be in his life after the fact, and she finally realizes at the end that maybe he's not as good of a guy as I thought, maybe I should just move on. And I was like, but like 99% of the book, genuinely, it was her being like, oh, I miss him, I miss our family, like the girl should go see him. I'm like, dude, she doesn't want anything to do with you. Anyway. 1 star. Then I read Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I think Taylor Jenkins Reid could write just a singular word, any word, on a page over and over and over and over and over again, and I would rate it 5 stars. There is something about the quality of her writing that is so fucking incredible. Incredible. Okay? Listen, I absolutely loved this book. I just think, yeah, her writing style is incredible. The stories that she's able to convey are incredible. I hated McReaver so fucking much. And I know that like her books are very much interconnected. She actually just announced that she's releasing a new book, I think in February, which I'm so excited for. So by February, hopefully, I will have read every single one of her books out there, because that's like my goal, is to read every single one of her books. I just love her writing so much, and I'm yet to find a book from her that's not 5 stars. So I loved Malibu Rising. I read it so quickly, like so quickly. Within a couple of days, I was done. Um, yeah, I absolutely loved it. I am not excited to see McReaver again, bloody asshole. But I genuinely didn't know until the end, because obviously it says in the blurb like that the house catches on fire. I genuinely didn't know until the end what was going to happen. So she just has a way of doing plot twists that just is so well executed, and you just don't see it coming. Like the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I absolutely didn't see that coming. I also didn't see Daisy Jones and the Six, that ending. I didn't see that coming. Like, I just think she's such an incredible writer, and I am absolutely, like, I will glaze her all the time, because genuinely some of the best books that I've read have been from her. So, loved that book. And then the most recent book that I read in July is In the Long Run by Emma Mugglestone. Now, I read this for another book club that I'm in with my uni friend and her sisters. And I'm just going to read some of the quotes that I highlighted from this book. Page 155. Don't even get me started on the view I have of his ass right now. 2 firm globes of pure muscle. More than adequate for someone to hypothetically dig their fingernails into. I've never heard an ass referred to as globes. I've also never want to see the words stern croissant daddy. She referred to his dick as a baguette. Can't look at baguettes or croissants ever again the same. Yeah, it's fake dating for sure. Um, I would rate this 2.5 stars. I read it. I'm not like mad that I read it, right? Um, the fake dating was fake dating, but it was just predictable. That's, I think, the biggest thing for me was the fact that it was very predictable. And I was like, well, they're going to get together. They're going to stop fake dating and make it real. And like, spoiler alert, but when he was talking about going back to the military, I was like, of course he's going to stay. There's no way he goes back, you know? Like, it's just, it was very predictable. Like, I knew what was coming next. So it is what it is. I'm not like sad that I read it, but I would give it 2.5 stars at best. I'm actually going to change it. I have it on Goodreads as 3 stars. I'm going to change it to two, like 2.5. Um, yeah, it was about a run club as well. So I was like, that's really funny. And it was set in Melbourne. So it was nice to have something set in Australia. But not my favorite romance that I've read. It wasn't super spicy, which, you know, each to their own. I didn't mind it, obviously. Like a lot of it was closed door. So that's cool. But I didn't love it. Like, I'm okay that I read it and like, yeah, I read it, cool, but I'm ready for the next book, you know? That's all the books that I read in June and July. I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. Let me know if you've watched to the end. Let me know what your favorite book that you've read so far this year. Mine, do you know what? Underrated favorite, The Correspondent. I genuinely still think about that book. Like, I actually want to reread it already. I love it. Um, I cried so fucking hard. So it was very good. Yeah, I will see you guys next week. Hopefully, I'll be more prepared and not have to film a video on the same day that I need to upload it. Yeah, I love you, besties. I'll see you next time. Bye.